The next one was another cheeky trade. I traded a shiny Charmander to myself and it ended up being a 98% lucky shiny, so couldn't help myself. I had to evolve it to Charizard. So I have another shiny Charizard and this one is lucky and shiny and 98%, like I said. Yay. So yeah, I also got that Makuhita during that event as well, and yeah, as you saw earlier, I didn't really need it, but I now have another Makuhita that is up for trade, so anybody want a Makuhita? So the next group is from the Ingress Prime event, and I did fairly well during that one. Got the 4 shiny Ponytas, 3 Cubones, and a Bulbasaur, which I evolved into Venusaur. The next group is from Cyndaquil Community Day, and that one was probably one of the worst ones that we had. It just was not going to work for the whole time that we had it. Then they extended it and it just continued not to work, so I only finished off with 6 for the day. But as you can see, I'm starting to accumulate quite a few shinies, so on the community days I don't want to catch more than 3 that I really want. It's just like, I don't want to transfer them because they're shinies, but at the same time I don't want them. So please, if people need these, tell me so I can trade them to you. Next is a shiny Forretress. I called this one as a Pineco. It was in the main street of town. It just popped up, I clicked on it and was like, oh great, I have another one now so I can evolve it. And there's the story of that. Then I was out the next day hunting in 38-degree weather, I think it was, and came across my second shiny Sunkern. I had my sunnies on at the time, so I couldn't tell that it was a shiny straight away. But yeah, I was happy that I got that, and it was actually worth going out in that heat. So next up is another Pikachu. I've got this one during the Let's Go event, and then yeah, I followed that up with another Eevee. I was able to get one of each from that event, and more shinies that I didn't particularly need. Next is the second of my shiny Aerodactyls. Got this one again from research. It was one of the research from the Let's Go event, and yeah, I got this a few days afterwards like the first one. So the next lot is from the December Community Day, where we had all the Pokemon from the previous Community Days featuring. And yeah, I did really well on this one. The first day of that weekend was actually my birthday, so I was able to start it off with a shiny Raichu, so couldn't have asked for anything better. And then the next day, when we actually had the 3-hour window where the spawns were increased, I finished off the day with a Shinx Raid and got another shiny, and that was probably only my 5th or 6th Shinx Raid at that point. So I did the evolution, got my shiny Luxray, and yeah, that weekend was probably the best weekend for shiny hunting that I've had. And I also finished it with both the shiny Wartortles, so yeah, I forgot about that. Next is my second, well, should be third shiny Lugia, but yeah, got this one from another raid and nothing special about it. It's just another shiny Lugia. Shiny Snorunt is next, and this is another one that I had to grind pretty hard to get. I remember catching it, it was another late night grind. I was hunting this and shiny Delibird. I didn't get the Delibird, but I got this, and it's a female, so if I get another one, I can evolve this one and get shiny Frostlass. And it's also level 1. Not that I really care about that, but I know some people do. Next is another limited time shiny, and probably my favorite hatch out of the few shinies that I've actually hatched. Shiny Pichu with a Christmas hat. So I also came across a shiny Pikachu with a Christmas hat during that event. But yeah, when I was trying to record it, I clicked off of it, went to click back on it to get the stars, and it despawned. So I ended up missing out on that one, which was really frustrating. So yeah, that's one that I'll have to wait until at least next year, or the end of this year, until I get another shot at trying to catch it. Next is a shiny Wynot, and yeah, got this one from an egg hatch. I can remember I was out doing a late night grind, trying to find Delibird and Christmas Pikachu and all that sort of stuff, and ended up hatching this. So again, I didn't have to go home empty-handed, but it wasn't really the one that I was hunting at the time. Next we have a shiny Caterpie, and this is one that I'd actually been hunting for quite a while, and I caught it in pretty much the exact same spot where the Pikachu had ran from me, so it's a bit of a make-up for that. It was only a few days after as well, so I was happy I finally got my shiny Caterpie at least. And then the next day I did what I think was probably my 20th or so Mawile raid, and got got my shiny one of them. So there's another one that I could cross off the list. So next is Totodile Community Day, and I went down to one of the gardens in Melbourne for this one, so spent a lot of the day filming. I didn't end up catching as many as I probably could have, but I did finish off with more than I really needed. So next is Shiny Alolan Marowak, and I got this one from, it's probably only my 5th or 6th raid. And it was also funny because I was standing there with a few of the guys from the group. One of them asked what the shiny looks like, and I've said, oh, like this, and tapped on my screen. And sure enough, I had the shiny pop up. So yeah, we all had a bit of a laugh that I'd actually called it, and yeah, I got my shiny out of that raid, and I don't think I've done one since. Shiny 853, Groudon. This one I really had to work hard for. I ended up doing 30 raids or so and got it on the last one. Actually had to spend coins to buy a raid pass because I'd gone through, 20 or so premium passes already. And yeah, finally got my shiny. So I ended up jumping around and yelling in the street like a lunatic, but I was just over the moon that I had actually finally got the shiny after all the effort that I'd put in to get it. And to top it off, it's weather boosted, and it's like the second best one that I've got now. Next was the Phoebus that I got on the Phoebus research day that we had. I spent the whole day hunting the shiny and had no luck, and then with one of the last tasks that I collected, it's probably only about 10 or so minutes before the event actually finished, I got my shiny Phoebus. Not only was it a shiny, it was also 100%, so it was my first Shundo. So yeah, even though that I only ended up getting the one, I had to evolve it just because it's a Shundo. So I have my Shundo Milotic, which is probably one of my favorite ones. Next two is Psyduck and Golduck. Got these two from the bonuses from the Taipei Safari Zone. So yeah, I ended up having pretty good luck with that one. I caught the 3 Psyducks and I got another Bulbasaur as well. So I traded one of the Psyducks away, evolved the other one, and yeah, I've still got the Bulbasaur that I could trade. So next is the second shiny Murkrow that I caught. I can remember where I caught it, I just can't remember if there was an event on it at the time. I don't think there was. I think it was just a random spawn. So this one was just a lucky one. So next one on the list is Shiny Phoebus. I got this one through a trade with Ben for the spare shiny Psyduck that I had. So the stats on this one didn't end up being anything good, but didn't really care given that I've already got the hundo. The next one is the Poochyena that I couldn't get during the Halloween event. This one was another completely random spawn. I pulled up at one of the spawn points that I usually stop at when I'm doing my rounds. Poochyena popped up, clicked on it, it was a shiny. So I was really pleased with that one, even though I spent a good week, 2 weeks clicking on every single one that I saw and didn't get one. So yeah, I was happy that I could finally tick this one off the list, but I need another one now so I can do the evolution. Next is Shiny Melmetal. I got this from my first mystery box, from the very last spawn, and then didn't get another one. So I evolved this one hoping that I was going to get another one, and yeah, it just didn't happen. So I'm still on the hunt for another one. Hopefully they'll bring them back into the boxes again soon. I actually only ran like 2 boxes the second time they bring them back because I kept forgetting about it. So it's probably my fault that I don't have another one. So I ended up catching another 100 or so Meltan during the events. Didn't get another shiny out of them, but about 15 minutes or so after I caught the shiny Meltan, I did actually catch a shiny Spoink. So yeah, that ended up being a fairly good day, because to follow that up, I also caught my 3rd shiny Pineco. So I caught, I think it was the 3 shinies within about half an hour of each other. And then it was only like 2 or 3 days later, I was out trying to find my 2nd shiny Spoink, and I found my 2nd shiny Swablu instead. So the next group is from Swinub Comday. I ended up catching 11, but I only evolved one of them for Ancient Power because I ended up running out of time. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a big com day at the end of the year like we did last year, and I can evolve another couple, get a few for PvP and so on. So next up is my 2nd shiny Snubbull. I'm pretty sure I got this one during the Valentine's Day event when all the pink Pokemon were spawning. We'd just finished a raid and we were heading to another one, and yeah, just got lucky, clicked on the Snubbull and it was shiny. Next shiny is Chikorita. I got this one 20 meters up the road from where I got the Snubbull. was just another random click, and again, I think I was actually on my way to a raid when I got it. Next one is a shiny Latias. I got this one on, I'm pretty sure it was the 3rd raid, so had a lot better luck with this than I did the Latios, which I'm still trying to get. But I did end up getting 2 of these, which I suppose sort of makes up for when the first time Latias was around. I got a 100%er and it ran. So yeah, I wasn't too pleased about that. And now it sort of makes sense why I didn't end up getting a shiny Latios. I did get a hundo when they were around the first time as well, and ended up catching that one. Moving on, I've got the shinies from the Clan Pearl Research Day. I ended up with 4 of them, and I did 2 evolutions and got Gorburst and Huntail, so I was happy with that. And I also caught a shiny Krabby that day, so that was probably the best part of it. So it's still one of the rarest shinies in the game, so I was really hoping that I was going to find one on the Clan Pearl Day, and sure enough, all the hunting paid off. So this one is the 3rd of my shiny Aerodactyls. Got this one from another research task. I can't remember if it was during an event or if it was just a random task. But yeah, it's another shiny that I didn't really need. So this one is up for trade. So the next one is the 2nd shiny Latias that I got, and then the next 2 after that are the ones that I got from the Pokemon Day event, which is not the 2 that I was hunting. So I was looking for the Pikachu and the Eevee with the floral wreath, and ended up with a Charmander and a Squirtle. And then to top it off, about a week later, I actually caught a shiny Eevee, didn't I? So the timing on that one wasn't the greatest. So that was probably my most unenthusiastic shiny catch ever, which I had on camera, which is up there, so enjoy. So after the Pokemon Day event, we had the Battle Showdown event, and I did pretty well during this one. I started off with the shiny Mankey. This one I had to grind fairly hard for. I ended up clicking on 200 or 300 before I ended up getting the shiny. But then I followed that up a few days later with another shiny Makuhita, like I needed it. Then I got my first shiny Growlithe from a research task, and then I finished the day off with a shiny Machop. So yeah, that ended up being the 2nd time that I caught 3 different shinies in one day. Then after that, I got my 3rd shiny Murkrow. This one was just another random full odd spawn. I can't actually remember where I caught this one. It was in town somewhere, but yeah, wasn't that special. So next up was Trico Community Day. I only ended up with the 7, but I was spending a lot of that day filming and taking AR shots. And I also forgot to evolve my shiny before the end of the event, so it didn't get Frenzy Plant. But I did catch a hundo during the day as well, and I evolved that one before the end of the event, and that one got Frenzy Plant at least. The next event was the Lotad Research Day, and this one was just crazy for shinies. I ended up with 4 Lotads, 13 cast forms, and another Pikachu. But I did end up hunting for 6 or 7 hours during that event, so it's no wonder I ended up with so many shinies. And then, if you can believe it, the bug out event started, and the very first Lotad that I clicked on was another shiny. So yeah, I ended up with another full odds Lotad, just randomly. So I also got my 2nd shiny Caterpie during that event, and another shiny Pineco, which I could have done without. And then I also finished it off with my shiny Scyther, which I did not as many wild checks because they weren't really spawning in the wild, but probably did 30 or 40 research tasks, and yeah, was lucky enough to actually get one. So the next one is, yep, you guessed it, another Makuhita. It's number 5. I would have rather that have been a Sandshrew or something that I actually need, but it wasn't. So moving on to Bagon Community Day, which actually did fairly well, even though we had really bad issues with this one. Couldn't play for pretty much the whole event. They ended up extending it another 2 hours, and really wasn't even playable during that time either. So I'm actually surprised that I ended up with the amount that I did. Alright, we're on the home stretch now. This is getting pretty close to over. This has taken me so much longer than I thought it was going to. So I'll continue on, and hopefully I can finish this up within the next 45 minutes. So next was the Easter event, and I got my shiny Bunnery fairly easily. I didn't have to click on too many to get this, but then I clicked on probably another 1,000 and didn't see another one. So I wasn't able to do my evolution. I know a few people that ended up with 5 or 6, so I should be able to get one through trades, so that's not too much of an issue. But then we followed that up with another Plusle, which is just, it seems to be the PokeTuber's bane. We all seem to have caught a shiny Plusle at some point, and it's not good content. It's just a Plusle. It's like the worst shiny ever. But then, thankfully, I was able to follow that up with a shiny Shuckle, so that was good. It was one that I at least wanted. But then I ended up getting another shiny Mareep about 20 meters from home, so yeah, that one was, I guess, a good bonus. I would have preferred another Bunnery, but it's better than a Plusle. The next one is my Kentucky Fried Pidgey. I got this one while standing on the line at KFC. Didn't have the camera on me at the time. I actually had just bought a webcam, so I can start doing some live streaming stuff soon, hopefully. And yeah, clicked on a Pidgey, and it was a shiny. So this one probably didn't get the reaction it deserved, given that I was standing in the line at a food court. I was fairly quiet about it. My heart did jump, but yeah, I didn't yell and scream and jump around like an idiot like I would have if I caught it while wandering around or in the car or something like that. So yeah, at least I was happy I got my shiny Pidgey. So the next one is a lucky shiny Salamence, and I actually got this one from my first lucky friend. So yeah, we ended up trading Salamence for Salamence, and yeah, it came out lucky, as they do when you're trading with a lucky friend. So the last big group is the 8 Digletts that I caught during the Earth Day event. I would happily have traded these in for a shiny Sandshrew. That is what I really wanted during that event, but instead I ended up with 8 Digletts. What am I going to do with 8 shiny Digletts? So, can't believe it, we're actually here. The last 5 shinies. And these are all from the Detective Pikachu event. I ended up with another Psyduck, which is not really what I wanted, but after seeing the movie, I actually have a new appreciation for Psyduck, so I'll keep it, I suppose. Plus, I've named it now, so I don't really have a choice. The next one I got is the first shiny Apom, and I actually got this one while I was still in the cinema just after seeing the movie. I was in there chatting to the manager and yeah, clicking on a few Pokemon after taking some AR shots, and I got my shiny Apom. So I was right with that. I quickly ran out of the cinema and caught it. Again, I didn't have the camera on me just because I just finished seeing the movie, so it was disappointing, but I was able to make up with that because I ended up getting another one, which you'll see in a minute. So the next one that I got was my 3rd shiny Magikarp, and I got this one from one of the research tasks, and it actually has good IVs, 92% shiny Magikarp. This one will probably be the one that I end up evolving into Gyarados. So I was stoked with this one. I've done probably 300 or 400 Magikarp tasks trying to get one over the past couple of months, and yeah, was not successful until now. So the second last shiny that I caught was the 2nd shiny Apom that I got. I actually pulled up to catch a Psyduck because I needed one for a task. It despawned because I went that little bit too far, but an Apom popped up instead, and it was my 2nd shiny one. So I will take that over a Psyduck any day. So finally, the last shiny that I caught was shiny Cubone, and I actually got this one at home. I was sitting here, I just finished unloading all the footage off the camera from the last video, and yeah, this little guy spawned, clicked on it, sure enough it was another shiny. So I had to film another clip, add it to the end of that video, and yeah, that was the way that I ended the Pikachu event. Just still got a day left at this point, so I still actually have a chance of getting another shiny, so this may have another one added to it. I really hope not. This has already taken way too long. So that's it. That is my shiny collection up until this point. It took a long time to get here. If you're still watching, thanks, I suppose. I'm pretty sure this is going to be one that has been split into 2 videos because I've been filming for a long time, so I can't imagine that anyone's going to want to sit here and watch an hour long video. So see how I go with the editing. But I'm really too tired to keep thinking right now and talking. So I think I'm gonna end this one here. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to tag a few other people to get them to do one of these as well. So I'll do that when I'm uploading and all that sort of stuff. Because I can't really think of anybody right now because my brain's a bit fried. So remember to like, comment and subscribe. Stay safe, happy hunting, and yeah, let me know how you guys have gone with shinies over however long you've been playing. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Well, I'm back. I knew that this was gonna happen. I finished filming this, I went to bed, I woke up a few hours later, I opened up my game, and I got my third shiny Apom. So that's 2 shinies that I've caught in the past week at home. So since this has taken me so long to film and edit, Torchic Community Day has also come and gone. I ended up with 10 of them for the day. Probably could have got a few more, but I spent a lot of the day doing filming and stuff like that as well. But I ended up with 3 within the first 15 minutes. And then to top the day off, I was sitting here editing my Community Day video and I got my 3rd shiny Shuppet. So that was my 3rd shiny that has spawned at home within the last week. So I don't know what I've done to please the shiny gods. It seems that editing has become my new shiny charm, so I think I'll be doing that more often. And yeah, I will definitely keep taking this good luck. So whatever I've done, hopefully I can keep doing it. So I'm not going to touch my phone again until these videos are up, because I don't want to accidentally catch another shiny that I then have to add to the video, because I would like these to end. So this is the end of the video this time. I promise. I will see you guys in the next one.